is IDF Reserve's Lieutenant Colonel Doron Avital, who was a former commander in the IDF Special Forces. Moving now to the Israel-Hamas war inside Gaza, the IDF saying that today we will begin the evacuation from Al-Shifa hospital of the most highly vulnerable patients. So the IDF commander specifically mentioning babies, but indicating that the patients who are still in Shifa being treated, cancer patients or the elderly, babies, they're going to be evacuated in the hours to come today. Does that indicate perhaps that a battle after that may be soon underway with ground forces inside Shifa in an effort to get underneath to Hamas headquarters?
Well, it might be the case if evacuation really succeeds, and I think we heard Herzi right now talking to the troops, talking to the Golani Brigade, words of encouragement before a campaign which can be over the Shifa hospital and the infrastructure underneath. Of course, we don't know, neither do I, and I'm not sure whether the IDF knows where the hostages are, so this is a part of the complexity of any attempt to dismantle this infrastructure of tunnels and bunkers and headquarters. So we have to be very smart about it, very careful. The hospital is a very delicate, sensitive issue also worldwide, so we have to work it very carefully, and I think this is the intentions of the IDF. As
much as the IDF knows about the Shifa hospital and the medical building, I mean, the design of it and the hallways and where the offices are, what don't they know? What ultimately will special forces or ground forces not know? I mean, they won't know booby traps or where bombs are, but what information can only be learned when you actually go in there?
Okay, so first of all, intel that you get on such an infrastructure is not like only prior intel, it's something that you get as you go. I mean, there's a lot of technology right now. Some of this technology came from the Special Intelligence Unit of Israel that now was transported to the fighting forces of Israel. But how to see and to, it can be optical, it can be, I don't even to go into details, but a lot of technology was invested in the last 10 years in order to investigate such an infrastructure. The question whether soldiers should actually enter and fight, this is also an open question. It depends also, again, of the hostage dilemma.
In your analysis, does going in and fighting?
I think even any military officer would have think twice before doing so. If indeed there's only enemy there, why to bother? If you could do it in other optional ways. So I think we'll be very careful in entering, but if it's necessary, we will.
Do you think that the IDF, as we heard from the IDF Chief of Staff mentioned from the air, we have eyes above, we're on the ground. This is a combined effort amongst all branches of the Israeli Defense Forces to make sure that to minimize both civilian casualties and casualties amongst Israeli troops.
Yeah, exactly. I think what the IDF proved that it has in its capacity is this very close loop between ground forces, intelligence, and air power. And I think this worked. And this many of the loops in which Hamas terrorists were killed were about a ground force, by some intel, identify some force, and then let the air power do the work.
Do the rest,
So it works very well,
Yeah, that targeted strike.
So this is a technology, and not only technology, competency that was worked in the last few years and proved himself in this campaign.